Hello amigos and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Today we're diving deep into a fight that's been overhyped as a classic Puerto Rico versus Mexico rivalry. You all know what I'm talking about. At least the guys that know a little bit about boxing knows this is a huge hype job. It's a ploy to sell tickets, all right? Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. Let me tell you something straight. This is not Puerto Rico versus Mexico. This is Canelo versus a taxi driver from New York, or a cherry picker versus a taxi driver from Brooklyn. It's nothing more than a cherry pick, my friends. Let me break it down for you, including why Canelo chose Berlanga instead of facing David Benavidez, and why my prediction is that Berlanga won't make it past the 8th round. I see a lot of people talking about Canelo, and I actually have some of the members of my gym who don't know much about boxing, and I'm talking about, guys that come and train just keep in shape, but they don't follow boxing. They tell me, hey coach, there's a great fight coming on next week. And I say, yeah, which fight is that? Oh, the Canelo fight. And that's not going to be a great fight. It's not going to be a great fight. It's a mismatch. So let's dive deep on why I believe this is not going to be a great fight. It's a mismatch. A lot of people are going to be wasting their money paying for a pay-per-view for this fight that nobody asked for, all right? We're going to get right into it. Berlanga's being hyped as the next big Puerto Rican star. But when you take a closer look at his record, it's clear he's more hype than substance. He's knocked out a bunch of journeymen, and yeah, those first round knockouts were exciting. But what happens when he faces guys who can fight back? We already know the answer. Berlanga looked lost in there against Cáceres, a guy who was coming off a loss to Billy Joe Saunders. He also struggled against past his prime Steve Rolls, a fighter who had no business going the distance with him. If you're struggling with these guys, how are you supposed to handle a fighter like Canelo? Spoiler alert, you can't. Now let's talk about Canelo. Love him or hate him, Canelo has fought and beaten some of the best. Triple G, maybe the last fight, the first two, I do not agree he beat Triple G. He got the decisions, all right? It was a draw and then a win for Canelo, which I really don't agree with. Kovalev, you all know what happened with Kovalev. That's another cherry pick, right? Kovalev was super dehydrated and came off, didn't get a chance to recuperate from his previous fight. Over the hill, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, you name it. He's been at the elite level for years, fighting real competition. So why is he fighting Berlanga? What do you guys think? It's an easy win, my friends, plain and simple. When you stack Canelo's resume against Berlanga, it's not even close. Canelo is operating on another level, and that's why this fight isn't about Puerto Rico versus Mexico. It's about Canelo cashing in on an opponent who's nowhere near ready for this level of competition. And let me give you my prediction right now. Berlanga doesn't make it past the 8th round. He's going to get exposed early, and by the middle rounds, I see Canelo taking him out with a combination to the body and head. Berlanga has never faced anyone with Canelo's skill, and he's not ready for what's coming. And I believe that he might quit on the stool, my friends. He might quit after an ass whooping. In one of these rounds, I would tell you 4th, 5th, 6th round. Who knows, man? I don't think he's going to make it past the 8th round. That is my prediction. Canelo by stoppage before the 8th round. All right. So why is Canelo even taking this fight? Why isn't he fighting David Benavidez as #1 contender and the fight fans actually want to see? Simple. It's a cherry pick. Canelo knows Berlanga is an easy fight. He's nowhere near Benavidez level. Instead of fighting the young, hungry lion, he's choosing a safer option in Berlanga. And it is clear as day. David Benavidez is a real threat. He's undefeated. has crazy hand speed, and would be a serious challenge for Canelo. But that's exactly why Canelo is avoiding him. He doesn't want to take the risk, his title or his legacy, against someone who can push him to the limit. Let's be real. If Canelo was really about proving he's the best, he'd be in the ring with Benavidez right now. Not a guy who's been going life and death with B-level fighters like Rolls and Coceres. Why didn't Canelo fight a rematch with Dimitri Bivol? Because he got whooped. All right. So all these excuses that he wanted to fight Bivol again, that he dared to be great when he had already fought at 175 pounds, are just excuses. Canelo continues to contradict himself. And those guys that have no brain, those brain dead fans of his, man, I just feel pity for them. I mean, it is unbelievable how they go all out for Canelo and try to excuse his constant contradictions and try to somehow explain the reasons why Canelo continues to avoid the legacy fight with David Benavidez. Benavidez has been calling Canelo out for years, but Canelo keeps ducking him. Instead, he's taking an easy road with Berlanga, who's not even in the same universe as Benavidez. And you know what? It's bad for the sport. Fans with brains, knowledgeable fans, want to see the best fight the best. And Canelo versus Berlanga, it's not that. Okay, guys, let's talk about Berlanga for a second. He's repping the Puerto Rican flag, but let's not get it twisted. This isn't the next Tito Trinidad. Berlanga's a New York kid, and honestly, at this point in his career, he's more of a taxi driver than a top-level fighter. I'm not trying to disrespect him, but the truth is, Berlanga has yet to prove himself against the elite competition. And that's why they call guys that are, matched up against elite fighters in order to boost their records. And you know what they said about Julio Cesar Chavez fighting all these taxi drivers. Greg Hogan said that a while back. So that has stuck, and that's the reason why I'm saying it. Not to disrespect Berlanga, but Berlanga has won the jackpot. Actually won this fight where he's going to make millions of dollars, and he's going to be content with that, and I congratulate him. But please know the difference between what is, a mismatch and what is a real good matchup. All right. This is not that. Berlanga has not fought a top 10 opponent. He hasn't faced anyone who could test him at the highest level. Yet here he is getting a shot at Canelo. Why? Because Canelo sees an easy fight. Berlanga's got the flag, the hype, and the knockout power against lower tier guys, but he doesn't have the skills to match Canelo. This is in Puerto Rico versus Mexico. It's a glorified sparring session for Canelo. I'd like to ask, Berlanga, if he knows the himno de Puerto Rico. Just tell me the words for the hymn of Puerto Rico. That way I can know he's really representing the island, or he's actually just using that because he feels Puerto Rican, but he is not an elite fighter. He's not somebody that the people in Puerto Rico are going to be behind. So what's going to happen to Berlanga after this fight? If my prediction holds, and I believe it will, Berlanga is going to get stopped before the 8th round. After that, it's back to the drawing board. He'll need to focus on real development, step back, and fight some legitimate top 10 contenders. Otherwise, this fight could derail his entire career. Berlanga's still young, but if he's not careful, this could be one of those cases where a fighter gets thrown to the wolves too early and never recovers. He needs to fight guys at his level, not get rushed into title shots against someone like Canelo, who is way above his pay grade right now. And he's just doing it for the money, guys, and I can't blame him. It's a title shot. It's a unification. It's a title shot for 3 titles, for 3 world titles, 3 different organizations, and all those millions of bucks. But he's not ready. He's not ready. He's going to go in there scared. I think it's going to be really an embarrassing moment for Berlanga. It's going to get ugly. At the end of the day, this fight is not what the promoters are selling it as. It's not Puerto Rico versus Mexico. It's Canelo, the cherry picker, versus a taxi driver from New York. Berlanga's not ready, and Canelo knows it. This fight is nothing more than a cherry pick because Canelo wants to avoid real competition like David Benavidez. Mark my words, my friends. Berlanga won't make it past the 8th round. Canelo will break him down and finish him. And then what? We'll still be asking, when will Canelo face the real challenges out there? Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you tuning in for another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. I just wanted to say that it's a very short episode today, but I wanted to get your take on what you think. Do you really think this is a real matchup, a classic matchup between Puerto Rico versus Mexico? Please let me know what your thoughts are. Remember to share, like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon so you can be reminded of any future episodes, all right? But anyway, right now, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Until next time, stay sharp, stay disciplined. Peace.